The financial costs and emotional costs of the search for Jeriod Price now adding up. The state Supreme Court ordering law enforcement to return Price to the State Department of Corrections after he was released 16 years early.
Price was sentenced to 35 years in prison for the 2002 murder of college football player Carl Smalls Jr. Back in December, former Richland County Judge Casey Manning ordered Price released after his defense attorney, Todd Rutherford, and Fifth Circuit Solicitor Byron Gibson reached an agreement to cut the sentence over Price allegedly helping the Department of Corrections. The department has yet to verify some of the assistance claims, but confirms Price gave information to a third party that helped them catch an escaped inmate. Now it has been 5 days since the state Supreme Court vacated that release order, and instructed law enforcement to bring Price back immediately.
Chris Joseph, speaking to the Smalls family today. Chris, I know this is very emotional for them. They talked about it last week in that press conference with Sheriff Lott as well. How are they holding up days later?
Yeah, Billie Jean, they were visibly upset, as you touched on, as they've been throughout the situation. Law enforcement, of course, has been working to catch Price, but as we touched on, it's coming at a cost.
There being no further questions, this hearing is adjourned.
After its hearing, the state Supreme Court took just 2 hours to reach a 3-2 verdict to order Jeriod Price back to prison. After 5 days, he's still on the run.
Last week, when all this came to light, I think at that point he probably realized what was going to happen. So you can only imagine what his plans have been since last week when he started seeing some handwriting on the wall.
Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott's deputies are working with SLED and the Department of Corrections to bring him back. So far, it's cost taxpayers an estimated $10,800 for Lott's deputies alone. That's 108 hours of manpower a day since Thursday. Neither SLED nor the Department of Corrections were able to provide their estimates on Monday. The costs come after the state Supreme Court vacated former Judge Casey Manning's order to release Price early on legal grounds. Attorney General Alan Wilson also openly criticized Fifth Circuit Solicitor Byron Gibson for his role in the release.
The state failed. The state failed in this process. And I understand I'm the chief prosecutor of the state, but the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office failed to meet the statutory obligations under 1725-65 and to provide a public open hearing.
Supreme Court justices also questioned the decision to sign the order and the lack of notifying the victim's family. Manning and Gibson have not made themselves available for questions.
It's just hard to deal with. We have been so totally hurt by all of this. You know, we're hurt by Jeriod Price behavior that seems to be overlooked. And now we're even more so hurt by the justice system. I mean, how much more should we have to bear?
Meanwhile, the parents of Carl Smalls Jr. say each day Price is free is a challenge.
It's on your mind all day, the questions, the anger, the disappointment, everything that goes along with it. It's just terribly upsetting.
Price's defense attorney Todd Rutherford has called for Price to turn himself in, but told reporters on Friday he didn't know where Price was. Price was being held in a New Mexico prison before being released in March.
I never knew where he was other than New Mexico, except I believe that when in talking to the Department of Corrections, I think he went through Texas. That's all that I know.
The Smalls challenged Price.
Own up to it. Be this big man you're supposed to be. Stand up and own up to what you did.
Now, that $10,000 may only be a fraction of the eventual cost for local taxpayers. RCSD says it is the lead agency in this case.